Hello everyone, I'm BodineVictoria. Welcome to my kitchen and this is my pan. Over the weekend, Shomani Bistro held their very first Ultimate Chef Showdown at the Gladstone Road Farmers Market, and it was the media edition where the home chefs, as well as the media personalities were put on 10 teams and we threw down at Gladstone Road. I was just trying to survive amidst all of the noise and the people asking questions, but the Anicia Davies, my cousin, and fellow home chef here for Shomani Bistro came out victorious with her team, Hot Grease. And they did the absolute most. And so today's episode is not inspired by that recipe, but inspired by not letting the food waste. BodinePot is sponsored by Shomani Bistro, your friendly neighborhood meal kit Bahamas. And Shomani Bistro has a long history of being philanthropic, partnering with causes around the Bahamas that help those that are in need. Today's episode is being dedicated to Hands for Hunger and their aim of ensuring that nobody goes hungry. You can go to the Shomani Bistro website to see our partners, as well as being able to make a donation to those in need. You can also purchase a family meal kit for a person in need, or you can donate to the fund. I'll put the page right about here so that you can see where your money goes to. All donations that are given to Shomani Bistro are delivered through Hands for Hunger. Go to the Shomani Bistro website for more information. So if you're on the go like me, between work, the gym, and all of the other obligations I have during the week, preparing our dishes ahead of time using some of the ingredients that are on the way out will help us to just get through the week a whole lot faster and make food that is nutritious as well as tasty a little less harrowing for us all. I have only meat to eat, and so I end up making sure that I try to preserve as much of my fresh ingredients as possible, as much of my meat as possible, but sometimes things actually do start to rot, especially when you're not home cooking all of the time. So what I decided to do is I said, you know what, let me make something that makes sense. What this we're doing is we're going to be taking these ingredients that may have spoiled if we did not catch them in time, repurpose them and turn them into something delicious. Y'all ready? Because I know I did a lot of talking. Let's go. Okay, so here's what I did. I decided that I was going to caramelize my onions. I'm going to take an onion, yum onion, and yep, we could look at it. We can see just around the edges that this one is actually starting to break down and decay. No problem. To kind of slice them. I'm gonna add a pat of butter to the pan. Okay. Take your onions. You don't need any more salt than that. You see here, they're already going from opaque to brown and translucent. We're now ready. And then I roasted my peppers, which kind of helped to rehydrate them, but also it made the flavor of the peppers a bit more sophisticated. And I can put these in some really nice. This actually is a really nice pepper. A little bit of foil. Just a sprinkle of salt. Close it up. And we're going to stick it in the oven for about 20 minutes. If you have containers like these, you can actually put your caramelized onions as well as your roasted peppers in them, and you can store them in the fridge or the freezer for as long as you need to store them, and they come in handy when you just want something quick to eat or a quick sandwich. Then I shredded my carrots. These actually can be shredded and kept in water, and then you take them out of the water and drain them when you want to eat them. And believe it or not, these are celery leaves. Now I don't know why y'all didn't tell me celeries come with leaves, but I ate one and it tastes so good. It doesn't taste like water. It doesn't taste like lettuce. It has a really nice celery taste. And so we're gonna be using these in the sandwich that I'm making. But what I'm most proud of right now is this. These are plantain wraps, okay? So basically, these are inspired by two things. That Middle Eastern naan that Showman made with the Middle Eastern box, they kind of gave us dough for that. And then the other day, they gave us some plantain dough or plantain pizza dough. This is inspired by... I'm actually going to record for this part of the video. So I'm going to start by saying this is going to be a spelt-based recipe because I really just want to control the amount of carbohydrates, and spelt has a lot more protein. But if you want to, you can actually use all-purpose flour for this. And I want you to know that you can use any type of oil. If you want a softer wrap, instead of using the yeast, you can actually use just a little bit of baking powder. And at first, the dough is going to be sticky. So at the point where you add the water, just add a teaspoon, a tablespoon at a time, because you have to remember that the plantain itself has its own moisture. From here, we are actually just going to roll them into some rolls. Now, I managed to get like 5, but if you want to, you can measure them out so that they're as even as possible. And you're gonna have to keep them kind of floured down because they are going to stick, and you don't want them to stick to one another because all of that hard work that you did is going to go to waste. Here, I'm adding it to my pan. I didn't put any oil in the bottom of the pan at first. I wanted to see it rise, and now I'm adding just a little bit of coconut oil to the top, and you're gonna see the difference when I turn this back over. But these are very simple. You can choose the type of oil that you want to use, and I got most of these ingredients between Showman Bistro and the Gladstone Road Farmers Market. Okay guys, now it's time for us to take our shrimp. Now this is shrimp that I've had in the freezer for a while. I have taken off the shells and I'm going to put them aside to put with some lobster shells and other things, and so I'll make a broth out of that. I added the lime ahead of time because I want that to actually sink into the shrimp, and I'm seasoning it with some lemongrass curry that I got from Brew. I love it. Some ginger and some grated garlic or garlic puree. Now I'm using that herb butter that I got in one of my other Showman Bistro meal kits. Yes, I still have it. And now I'm putting it in the grill pan. And I want us to take a look at the shrimp, okay? What you want to do with your shrimp is you want to pay attention to when it starts to look a bit opaque close to the inside seam, because when you take it off the heat, it's going to continue to cook. I love it when I don't have to think about what I'm gonna go eat or how good it is for me. And with this option right here, all we have is choices, okay? So from the Plantain Spelt wrap, you know that it has just enough sweetness for your sweet tooth, but it has protein and it has the sugar from the plantain plus the plantain waste. I love it. Then we also have these lemongrass curry fried shrimp. These use the herb butter that came from the Showman Bistro meal kit, and we know that we needed to do it. We also have our roasted peppers, we have our caramelized onions, we have our shredded carrots, which we're going to put in water and store in the refrigerator so that they continue to stay fresh. We have our sriracha mayo situation here and our celery leaves for greens. But don't forget, I got some pickles. I mean, it's gonna get weird up in here with these flavor profiles, but they're gonna taste good. And I also have what's left of my ahi pepper sauce from Showman Bistro. Look out for the short versions of all of these recipes coming to my Instagram feed, just so that you can see how to make them really quickly without having to watch the entire video if that's not what you want to do. Today's episode of BodinePot was sponsored by Showman Bistro, your friendly neighborhood meal kit. Here is this week's meal kit. Ta-da! And I know that you are going to enjoy all of the ports of call that we are going to be visiting this year. Continue to go and shop at showmanebistro.com for more information. Congratulations to everybody that participated in the Showman eBistro Ultimate Chef Showdown Media Edition. And thank you so much to Showman eBistro for supporting not only the orange economy, but the green economy by allowing all of us to put the best that we have to offer on display. If you enjoyed today's recipe and you want to see how I remix these, check out my Instagram feed this week. It's BodinePot on Instagram. Lots of creative things going up there. As well as, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to follow me at BodinePot.com. And if you want to see what I'm doing with my hair, what I do during the week, you just my guest jokes, follow me at BodineVictoria across all your social media platforms. And if you liked this video, don't forget to leave me a comment, like the video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you know each and every single time I upload. Having said that, I can go build my sandwich, and I hope that you enjoyed this episode. And don't forget, when you got plenty things going on, don't let any and everybody dig up in your butt. My God. We're gonna take an onion, yum onion, and yep, you could look at it, we can see just around the edges that this one is actually starting to break down and decay. No problem. Kind of slice them. I'm gonna add a pat of butter to the pan. Okay. Take the onions. You don't need any more salt than that. You see here, they're already going from opaque to brown and translucent. They're now ready.